Good morning, OGs. It is Mother's Day. It is a Sunday. I believe it is the 30th of March. I'm going to very quickly go through my thoughts on Bitcoin again this week. Last week we looked at Sonic. I told you that I was very bullish on Sonic, and I still am. All of the numbers coming out of Sonic are looking super bullish. Today I'm going to go back over the Bitcoin chart with you. It's been a few weeks since I've done that, and tell you where I think we're headed. Again, there is a lot of negativity on crypto Twitter and a lot of negativity in the news about Bitcoin. People are saying it's the end of the world. People are saying it's the end of Bitcoin. But I am here to tell you otherwise. We haven't really changed in the last few weeks, and I don't think it's time to worry. So let's have a look at the Bitcoin chart and let me give you my opinion. Bitcoin is coming in at $83,500. As you can see on the chart, we are still in this downward channel. We still have the areas that we have to find support at or find resistance at. We've got the 74,000 on there, and we have to break 92,000 at the top. Again, I am not super bearish because we're still in the same channel. Now, what we did yesterday was we broke out of the ascending channel that we were in. That was something we'd been in for about 3 weeks, and then we started to break down. We've come down, we wicked below 83,000, and we have found some level of support. We're back at 83.5. It doesn't mean we're not going to go any lower. Now, as I've said to you before, I think 74,000 is the level that we either need to go to and bounce, or we need to wick below and come up and use as support before we move back up. Again, just to recap, the 30% correction that you see from 106,000 takes us down to about 73,800, which is pretty much exactly what we've got on there. That is a 30% correction. Now, we did have this wick down here, which took us down to 76,000, and that may be the low. We might not go to 74,000. So those of you hanging on for 72 or a 70 or a 69,000 Bitcoin, it's probably not going to arrive. But we are seeing higher lows being put in, but we're also seeing lower lows being put in depending on how you look at the chart. So as far as this goes, you can look at this and say we're putting in higher lows, or you can look at this and say we are putting in lower lows. There's more than one way to look at this, but the long and short of it is, this line here, I've been saying for a week or so now, 88,500 is the line we have to break. If we don't break it, we're going to keep getting rejected, and if you get rejected, you have a period of time where you break down. You see it here and you see it here, where we broke down. And that is just what happens. It's like being knocked back by a girl. Okay, you ask a girl out, she says no. It knocks your confidence. And when your confidence gets knocked, it curls over and you come down like that. Well, we have been rejected again. So where are we going to go? We've done it twice before. We are likely to do it again. And there's nothing we can do that, in the crypto space anyway, there's nothing we can do that's going to change that direction. Now, we've got April 11th on the chart. There's a couple of things associated with this date. This was when I said we were going to start to breach towards all-time highs. That's what I said in a video 4 or 5 weeks ago. We're clearly nowhere near that. But the other thing that's associated with this is the likelihood of a rate cut. Now, the rate cut is likely to turn the narrative of the market from neutral, bearish to bullish. And what we are likely to see is, at this point, we are likely to break above the bull market support band. The market is waiting for confirmation that QT is finished. Quantitative tightening is finished. Now, yes, they have reduced QT, but they haven't stopped it. Then QE needs to be turned on. Quantitative easing needs to be turned on. And preceding that, you have a rate cut. So I would expect around this period of time, we are going to see Bitcoin break back above 92,000. That's what I am expecting. Now, If we don't get a rate cut, for whatever reason, then we are not going to come out of this channel. We're going to be stuck here. We've covered it in a previous video. We talked about, in the previous bull run 4 years ago, we had QE, and Bitcoin was just going up and up and up. And as with the alts, because money was being printed, and as money is printed, money comes into the market. And this is not a Bitcoin specific issue. It's a stock market issue. It's a gold issue. Gold is at $3,100, all-time highs for gold. It's a risk off asset. It's a flight to safety asset. That's where people go when there is war, conflict, markets breaking down, high inflation, whatever it might be. Gold is the protector. It's you go home to gold when things go against you. So if gold is at all-time highs, Bitcoin is going to struggle because it's a risk on asset at the minute. So if we get a rate cut, I'm expecting us to go up here, and I do expect a rate cut. I think it's priced in at about 76 or 69%. If we don't, we are likely to come to this area down here, these two areas down here. And again, until the market changes direction, there's nothing else to say on it. But if we zoom out, for example, just to show you where we are, and a lot of people have recency bias, we have had one almighty surge, and this pattern is what I expect us to continue with. We've seen KB and we've seen the Oracle talk about the charts. I talk more about the macro, and the macro needs a few more twists of knobs to help get us back to where we are. And that, I think, is the key. We can't sit here and say that we're going to go to 150,000 before those macro events change. So until we see the QE, the interest rate cuts, the tariff wars coming to an end, until we see that the Ukraine crisis finished, until we see all of those things, or the majority of those things, we're just stuck in this range, and we're going to keep moving down. And Trump doesn't care about Bitcoin or crypto, but he does care about America. And when he puts America first, everybody gets shook up. The Europeans, the Mexicans, the Canadians, they all get shook up, and they all cause a bluster. That gets in the press, and it scares, and it makes investors skitty. And Bitcoin is not an asset you invest in when you're skitty. So until those things change, we're still in this pattern, but it's not a negative pattern. We are certainly not coming down here, okay? It's gonna take a little bit more time for the markets to change. Did we expect Trump to go to war the way he went to war on tariffs? No, but he is being brutal because he's trying to rip the band-aid off, and that is going to be hopefully short and quick, and then we're going to move to the upside. So I'm just here to tell you that my opinion hasn't changed of where we are. My opinion hasn't changed. The timing of my opinion is what is changing, because I can't sit here and say we're going to be at 115,000 in April. If we go back all the way over here, where I highlighted these moves that Bitcoin has made, all of these moves all happened, and Bitcoin moved massively to the upside, either 30% or 70%, okay? Now, we are down here, but a 50% move of Bitcoin puts us in this area up here, okay? So it's going to happen. It's a timing issue, and I've talked to the Oracle about this before. It's not that necessarily predictions are wrong, but the timing of those predictions are wrong. So again, I don't think that overall the structure of Bitcoin has changed. I don't think we're going to go down. I don't think this is the end of the bull run, but I don't think as well we're going to 444,000 like Michael Saylor is telling you that we're going to do. I think we're going to go back towards 150,000, 130, 140, 150,000. That's where we're going to go. And that is, I think, where we're going to finish this bull run in November. It's not changed my opinion. Remember, people were telling you that the bull run was going to finish in May. I've never said May. I've always said November. I said I might be wrong, and it could be May, but I've stuck to the 4-year cycle, and that's still November. So stay strong. Don't panic. We are not going to zero, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I don't see any change for the next couple of weeks. Maybe another 2 weeks of this. Who knows? I don't know. I'm going to check, and I think on the stream we're going to go through Market Watch, and maybe there's going to be a trigger. That's the key here. It's not that one individual piece of news is going to send us to 150,000, but there will be one piece of news that will probably push us back up towards the 90,000 range. That's where we need to go. But we just need to hold 74,000 for the next few weeks, and then we're back to the upside. So thank you for being an OG. Don't panic. Don't worry. It's not the end of the world. Your alts are getting wrecked. So are mine. But when Bitcoin does start to break out, the alts will follow, and they will move faster because they have smaller market caps. Again, I'm expecting certainly XRP, certainly Cardano, certainly Solana, and Ethereum at some point is going to break out. And I've got complete faith in all of those things because my opinion doesn't change from 1 week to the next. So thank you for being an OG. Happy Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to those of you that are mothers. Happy Mother's Day to your mothers if they are still with us. Take care.